Hello and welcome to Maverrik Live. We've changed things up today in the studio, and today I'm talking to Martin.
Hello again. Back in.
You know which camera to look into.
I don't know.
Yeah, we've got this whole new array. So today we'll be talking about the top 2021 LinkedIn stats, or our top 10. Or I'm gonna say we're not doing 10. We're doing about a couple. Mainly to do with the fact that it is LinkedIn's 18th birthday.
18th birthday, yes. Look at that.
So now everyone can buy LinkedIn a pint for all the amazing work it's done for their businesses over the last couple of years. So to show your appreciation.
It's come of age, isn't it? It's an adult now, LinkedIn, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, 5th of May 2003, I think LinkedIn was the day.
Well, that was before Facebook, wasn't it? So.
It's about 6-9 months before Facebook, something like, I can't remember which one it is. So it's the longest run-in of those sort of social platforms.
Which is weird, you think. Really. It didn't really come into the main stratosphere of social media until later on down the line, because everyone jumped on. I think first it was MySpace. I say Bebo then, but that was kind of for the kids. I had a Bebo page.
I mean, I probably started using LinkedIn. I don't want to say 18 years ago, but it was probably not far off that sort of time. And it's a completely different platform then than it is now. It was there was a little bit of business on there, but it was a lot more about it's almost like it was your CV, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that I was ever the best person on LinkedIn, because as I was growing up, I went into theatre, as if you can tell, and then it was into creating content. Yeah. So it was more of a media-based thing. And then I joined an agency was all about LinkedIn, and then into Maverrik now. So it was a journey to get into understanding what LinkedIn actually was. Yeah,
it's very much more of the business tool, I think, the business side of it. And I think when Facebook came along, that was more of the general population using it, as opposed to business people using it, which obviously shows in its figures. I mean, when we look at the number of users on LinkedIn, what are they at? About 720 something odd million.
In the millions, I posted an article about at the time what the figures were, and I got people messaging us all the time going, oh, it's wrong now, it's this, but it's always going up. It's going up by the millions per because the growth is essential. So the first stat we actually have is in the first quarter of 2021, LinkedIn saw a 48% year-over-year growth in conversations.
Yes.
And that would be messaging, and
it will be
the rest of it.
But then if we look at what's happened, there's 200, what did I say earlier? Something like 200 million users have come on in the last 12 months or something silly. It's grown.
Yeah, so
it's just gone absolutely berserk over the last 12 months.
Steady growth into this big peak is going up.
Yeah, which I guess you can sort of understand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can understand where that's coming from, but it's still so far behind those other platforms. I mean, they're in the billions. This is still in the millions, but I think it's starting to, the people are starting to see the value in it now.
Yeah, it's the broader appeal for I think Facebook and Twitter is the fact that it isn't a business platform as LinkedIn's kind of perceived, even though LinkedIn's now turned into more of a conversational platform for professionals, which should be. But the appeal of the other platforms is you've got content, you've got entertainment, you got your funny videos. Yeah. But you're kind of seeing that a little bit in LinkedIn now. It's starting to lighten up as business professionals are lightening up, because I feel like the public image of a business person has changed over the years.
If you're trying to develop a relationship or a conversation with somebody, you can't be sell all the time, can you? You can't just be all about your business all the time. You have to, people, they want to know the soft side of you as well. So I've posted things about my dog and, that sort of side of things. So so they're getting to know me as a person as well as what I can offer them.
It does enrage some people, but when you think about how, like you said, how people would perceive you as a person, I think now that LinkedIn's got more tools to showcase that, because now people are using polls to get opinions, they're sharing GIFs and videos of their own lives, to make them more personable. Having those tools now has meant that people have started to join LinkedIn as a social site more than just purely a sales site a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, you can get so much from the sales site from LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think when looking at that stat that you've got there, I think because people have, we've been in this situation where we can't go and see people face to face. It's obvious really that the growth is going to increase because it's had to increase. The only way they can do business for the majority of people now is to do it online.
Yeah, and a lot of people have.
We're going to see that sort of percentage growth.
Thinking a lot of people have obviously lost their jobs.
Yeah.
And now they thought to themselves, well, now this is the perfect opportunity for me to start my own business approaching myself and start an online business, which is what it was. So a lot of people are now are kind of being forced into this opportunity to basically create themselves online.
Well, that's the thing. Is this is it just a reactive thing to the situation that we're in? And if it isn't a reactive, or if it is, how is this sustainable? Is it going to carry on?
Yeah.
Or are people going to think, the world's slowly going back to normal? Well, and do they go backwards with this? So
we won't see a decline, I don't think.
The challenge will be whether LinkedIn can keep that momentum going and encourage people to stay on the platform and message on it. And I think they will. I think they're coming out with enough new ways of doing things that I think they'll keep people engaged on it.
Awesome. Yeah. So the next one we're going to talk about is 96%. This is a huge figure.
Yeah.
I got these statistics mainly from LinkedIn's own forums and from some social sites like Buffer and Sprout Social. So 96% of B2B content marketers use LinkedIn for organic social marketing purposes. So what I believe what's happened here is they've just talked to a content marketer and said, what have you, how would you use LinkedIn? Would you use it? And they would say, definitely yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say no to when it's like a free opportunity to get your voice out there and market to people.
Yeah, I think it's a big area. It's a big thing, and it's growing. And like we're saying, more and more people are using it. So
I want to talk to the 4% though. We're like, no.
Yeah, what's that
like?
Like?
Never at all. It's like, why would you not post on every platform you can get? Like we saw 46% growth of conversations.
Yeah.
And then 4% of. I mean, that's probably one person. If you look at the statistics, probably one person was like, nah, it's crap. I'm using Instagram and nothing else.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I guess there'll be some people that are stuck in their ways. There's some people that are probably their brand is so much on point in a different platform that they're just not seeing the use in LinkedIn. But it's strange because it's definitely the way a lot of businesses are going now.
Just imagining like a 1940s newspaper going, it'll never catch on. Just like the steam train, they'll be rolling forever. So 4 out of 5 people on LinkedIn are the one driving business decisions. And I thought this was quite an interesting statistic, mainly due to the fact that that's quite a lot of people. And not everyone in a business can make any form of formal decision outside of a company.
Yeah.
Like inside they can, have a conversation, but actually making a decision, 4 out of 5 people seems really big.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what they're classing as the decision makers in LinkedIn. It's what they're, when you drill down in, is it the CEOs, the managers? There's a whole list of different job titles, I guess, as decision makers. But when you really think about it, there are lots of people that haven't necessarily got those titles that are still they can still make decisions on how businesses are driven forward. It might not be that they've got the full reins on how much money they can spend or what they, but
they're not going to fly, into a deal with you, but they still have some sway.
Yeah,
with
a lot of people are empowered within business now because that's the only, at the moment we need people to come up with those ideas. We need people to drive businesses forward, and it can't always be what we'd class as the senior levels of people. So I can, it depends on how they're working this out, but my feeling is maybe there are some, people within the business that are still got that ability to make those sort of key decisions.
There's a sales navigator tool which shows an account map of a company, and it shows the people who have or sort of deemed to have the most sway within that company, the ones who you really want to talk to, and it also has it has first, second, and third tiers. So what you would do is you would connect with these third tiers and get to know them and build a relationship. And that would lead you into being introduced then to someone else down the company line. And before long, you're talking to the CEO of your dream client, in a sense. So using those tools are very interesting. As we were filming with Josh and Curtis yesterday, training all about Sales Navigator, which I decided to put into a module and show everyone. But it was surprising to see how many what's available and how many people have sway over the next person you're going to talk to anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like using people, you still have to build a relationship with them and chat to them and say, I can do this for your business. And then when you have a relationship, they're more likely to bring you up the chain. And that's still a decision. It's their decision to say, okay, I'm going to put my name onto this person coming in and their services, and I want to vouch for them to say, this would be a betterment for our company.
Yeah.
And then you bring it on. So you still have to form that bond.
Yes, you do. Yeah. So like I say, it's a great stat, but I suppose it does depend on how LinkedIn are working it out. I mean, recently I've been doing some digital health checks for particular areas of the country, and there's we are seeing that actually the leaders within, the decision makers in business are actually stepping up and performing, or almost outperforming a lot of the employees in as much as posting and doing bits and pieces, so that and messaging and you know, they are trying to drive it forward. Leaders are trying to get more and more involved, which I guess if we went back a few years, it was the employees are actually were quite, you know, driving the business quite a lot.
There'll be the brand ambassadors for it, but now you're seeing like the leaders. Yeah, you would have the stoic person on the top who wouldn't be like the voice of a company, but now it's kind of flipped reverse, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, again, I don't know if that's reactive or where we are with that one, where that's coming from.
So from the last with decision makers, our next point is that we are 61 million senior level influencers using LinkedIn, like you just said. This is pretty much what we just talked about, so we can probably skip right past it with a point.
I mean, when we're talking influencers, we're not talking influencers in the same way we're talking about, you know...
Decision makers and influencers, where influencers can be like thought leaders, which we would see two separate things.
But not an influencer like you would get on Instagram or...
I mean, even so, they're kind of a thought leader because they kind of they have an audience, they talk to our audience, and then their points and their views actually shape how our audience reacts to something.
Yeah, I suppose.
Which can be used in a good way, and it can also be used as a bad way, which we've seen. Not going to the Manson family, but we are 6 million influencers using LinkedIn. They're top decision makers within certain organizations. I don't know what the certain organizations are. But it could mean someone who is a influencer in the tech industry. Say they've got someone who unboxes phones and they like the content. They're a CEO of a tech company who probably fixes them in a sense. They can make a decision of what phone gets pushed to their audience. If a wide audience, that certain amount of you know.
I mean, there's lots of people out there that you know. I guess if you look at you know, Dyson or whatever, if he puts something up on there, he can really change the way the market's perceiving things.
Just take a look at Elon Musk. If he tweets something, like it can go up. Like you saw about cryptocurrency, that skyrockets. He talks, he's quite interested in one thing. It kind of works, but in a sense, I think he plays a game with it sometimes, where he will just tweet something and then see how the world reacts. But having 61 million of those level of influencers, I mean,
it's about, what's that?
On LinkedIn?
It's about 8% or something, I guess, is it? Or no, more than that.
You have numbers, man.
I know, I'm trying to work it out in my head. Well, if we've got like 720 million, then you've got 61 million of them at a senior level. It's a good, you know, it's a hefty chunk. It's a hefty chunk. So yeah, it's really interesting, that one.
That's our final stat. We've got Maverrik live here. I actually want to know how you feel about all of these stats right now. Give us your questions. You can type them in the chat. We've got a few of them there, but my eyes are a bit terrible at the moment.
What have we got?
Because we've rearranged the studio now, the TV I used to read them off is quite far in distance. I do need glasses. So what I'll do is I will look through all the questions at the end.
I see. Actually saying with LinkedIn are saying they've got 740 million. So
740 million.
I mean, that's, again, I probably looked at it.
It was 613 last year when I was writing that article.
All right, okay. So it's going up.
Going up tremendously.
And this is, like we say, this is the trouble with stats. You can look at them one day. Like I said, I was doing that digital health report, and I could look at it one day and then come back a week later, and I'd have to double check the stats again because they can you know, and it's mainly going up. You know, it was, you know, more people on LinkedIn or more people with influence. So it's amazing how quickly it is growing and changing.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, take these stats as you will. They are going up and up from LinkedIn's forum. If anyone just spouts stats at you, sometimes you can be like, oh, I don't know where they pulled that from, and that's something I really hate. So what I'll do is I'll find where I found all of these sources. I'll put them into the comment section after this live here, so you can all.
And like you say, Sales Navigator, amazing tool for finding out
lots
if you really want to stats. You can work out lots of different things.
Incredible. Thank you for coming down and showing our sites.
Thank you for having me back again.
Studio here. If you like the way we've done this, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and we've got the rest of them. We've got Twitter, Instagram. We are senior level influencers on everything. No, but it really does help the channel out. So we will see you on Friday for our next Maverrik Live. Thank you again, Mark, for coming down.
Okay. Thanks for inviting me.
And thank you everyone for watching Maverrik Live. We'll see you next time.